Good day everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Murad Saeed, and on this video this is part 2 of replacing the evaporator on the 2018 Nissan Rogue. So we will continue where we left off, and we're going step by step on removing all the parts out of the dashboard just to get access to the HVAC unit, and we will show you how to take out the evaporator. Also, I've received the new evaporator, which is in the box, and we will show you how we install it and step-by-step procedure, so stay tuned. As you can see, this is where we left off. We have all the parts pieces out, the radio, the instrument cluster is on top of it, the other piece that's in front of the instrument cluster here, shifter knobs. Now we're pulling out the glove compartment. As you can see, there are screws you gotta take out, the total of 6 screws I think. And then when you take the 6 screws off, there are like clips here, so you just pull it out gently, pull it out gently. You want to make sure you pull out everything gently. You don't want to go manhandling out. After that, there's a clip right here. You just unclip it, and then that piece comes off. And then after that, we're gonna trying to remove this piece right here. Also, there are some other stuff we want to take out, like the giant screw on the top of the under the glove compartment. So I will show you that when I remove this glove compartment out. Okay, so we got the 2 little tweeters or speakers, little miniature speakers out. They are located on top of here. So there's one here and there's the other one on the other side. So you just unclip it and you pull them out. You pull them out and you unclip the harness. That's it. Next step now is we're going to remove this piece right here. It's a USB port with a cigarette lighter. So to do this, we just gently pull it out. Just gently pull it out. You don't have to go manhandling. And then locate all the harnesses, disconnect the harnesses from them, and you take them out. So you just unplug this one right here. There's a couple of them down there as well. So unplug them, and that's where we remove this whole piece. As you can see, we get this piece off. Here it is. There's all the connectors for them. And there is like a little hose right here on this vent. So I keep the screws here so that way you can know where to connect back. And then this is how it looks like right now. So everything, show you how it looks like. And you want to keep track of everything. You gotta keep track of how the harnesses are routing on each positions of this dashboard. And keep in mind on everything where it goes. Like for instance, this is the start button here. But all these things I just pulled out was for this component right here. I just pull up, even this bottom piece too. And all these harnesses here is this is for the radio. Okay. And then I think, no, this is for this component. And I think this piece here, this for the controls the AC unit. This harness here, so this goes right here. So it goes on top. And then the rest of the stuff down there, it goes on this right here. As you can see, these are for the plugs. And then all the stuff you see here is for the glove compartment. This harness is for the instrument cluster. And all this here controls the switches for the headlights, your trunk doors, the buttons for the changing to economic, and all the stuff is right here. And this one is for some other buttons. I don't remember what is it for, but I will show you later on. All these harnesses down here, this is for the center console. Don't forget the shifter knobs goes here. So now we will continue more on taking up this stuff, and we might have to take the power steering wheel down So we have access of removing the dashboard. So little by little, we'll show you how it's done. So now our next step now is to remove the two harness for the airbag module for the dashboard. There's one big giant screw here, and also removing the more harnesses on top of there. Okay, so I bought myself some new picks from Milwaukee. I got it from Home Depot. Yes, and they're big and long like the original ones. This will help me to reach the connectors for the airbag modules. There are like two connectors, and I need something to reach it all. So this is it I'll use. Or I could use an elbow one, but it's like a 90-degree here. So I'll try it on a straight one. So I'll try the straight one, see if I can get it out, and if I do, it'll be a success. So you just be all the way up there. As you can see, there's like an orange, and I think there's a blue one. So you just and there's like a yellow tab there, as you can see. Maybe not zoom in. As you can see, this is what I'm talking about. These two harnesses for the airbag module for the dashboard on top. There's two yellow tabs. You just get the pick and then just pull them out gently. So as you can see, I got those harnesses out. Now it's all clear to pull them out. And I'm gonna ask you something about these airbag harnesses and the airbag module. Whenever you're doing these jobs, you're gonna have to disconnect the battery first. I'll give it 3 minutes to de-energize the airbag system, and then you go start removing these harnesses out. This is very important, especially when you're doing this kind of work, replacing evaporator. It's best you disconnect the negative battery. Alright, so right now we're coming closer to removing the entire dashboard. So I think I'm ready to do that. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna grab a separate cup, because we wanna put all the screws separate. Like for instance, like the screw for the center console. These screws are for the glove compartment. The rest of the screws are for like certain parts you may install. So what we want to do next is get a cup separate for removing dashboard, and a separate cup for the HVAC unit. So we want to go in order so that we keep track of all the screws for this job. You want to keep track of everything, of how you put it in and however you're going to take it out, and put back everything how it was. It's very important to do this job, and take your time. So now let's start pulling out the screws for the dashboard. I'm going to get a tray to put all the screws all together, so stay tuned. So now be mindful of what tools to use. I'm using this cushioning grip because it's better when you're trying to untight something. It will protect from hitting the glass, the cushioning part. But if you're using these kind of metal ones without a cushioning, it's dangerous. So it's best to use the one with the grippier one that has a cushioning to it, and it's more safer for like when you release it. You won't do like a sudden twist, because these bolts are very tight, and you want to go very gently when removing these bolts, so that way you don't crack the windshield. So always like use your mind, not your muscle. You know, there's a saying, use your mind, not your muscle. Okay, so now we start taking out the screws now for the dashboard. You can see I have this separate cup here. So far we got 2 of them out. There's a small one here and there's a big one. I want to keep track of where they go. Like for instance, there's one that goes here. As you can see, there's one here, and there's one, the big one goes on this slot right down there. You cannot see it, but it goes right here on that hole. There's like a hole, you can feel it. So there, this is where it goes. And then you want to locate all the screws and start taking up one by one. So look around, locate them where they are, and put it on a separate bowl. Okay, so like by the time I finish taking out all the screws, I will show you where they are, and then we will show you how to remove this dashboard easily. So stay tuned. All right, so we finally got the dashboard out now, but I'm going to show you where all the screws are. So there's one, that hole right here. A two, there's a two on the hidden side. Number three will be this one here. Number four, I'm gonna tell you this one. Number 4 and 5 is these two big ones that holds the airbag module to the bracket, which is underneath there, 1 and 2. Okay, I'm gonna see them more and more. There's another flip here. So there are 3 on this one. 1 here. Number 2 is down there in the middle. The third one's right here. And then number 4 is here. 5 is here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. A total of 10 screws the whole entire dashboard. Now once you're taken out, you want to take out all the harnesses, put them outside, and always remember where these harnesses come from. You want to pull these things out like that. As you can see, I pull them out, and this is removed here. You want to remove this one out as little, and I don't think you have to take the steering wheel down, but if it does, I will move it down. And yeah, so as you can see, everything is free. And you want to remove this wire here, which is what I'm going to do right now. There are a bunch of clips holding it, so I'm going to pry them out and then take it out, and then we should remove the whole thing out. So stay tuned for this part coming up. All right, so as you can see, we got the wire harnesses out, and very gently guys, always use a long nose plier, and you want to pull the plastic clip, not the wires. Pull the plastic clip and then just wiggle it back and forth, wiggle it left and right, and then it should come out easily. You don't want to pull the wire, you want to pull the plastic clip, and then that will release it out. Okay, it's right down here. Release it. It's right here. Here it is. This is it. That's the harness for it, for the ambient sensor. So now to pull the dash, you want to go easily. So you want to start here. This is out already, this side. So you want to go back and forward to make sure you want to take it out. So that's how I'm going to do it. Let's check it here. See this side right here? It's hooked on. You just want to pull it that way. Pull it that way. And then you want to lift it up. I think for me, it's best we remove this steering wheel down and make it easier for us to take it out. So we will bring down the steering wheel down, and then we should remove the whole thing out. All right, so I finally got the dashboard out. Finally. There's the airbag module, and all this time there was 2 screws, not 1 screw. So it's 2 12 bolts. I was holding all this time. So this is how the dashboard looks like. But our job is not done yet, because our next aim now is to get the entire HVAC unit out. So this is our next mission now. So next is we need to remove these 2 wires and unclip all this here, push it aside, because we will remove these mounting bolts here. And then there's a couple of nuts on each side, Also, there's one bolt on the front that we need to unbolt, and we're going to disconnect the AC line and the two coolant hoses for the heater core, and that should take out everything. You see this bolt right here? You guys can see it. That's from the outer side of the cowl. So you go to the outer side, which I'm going to show you, and then you're going to pull that one out as well. Two screws are holding from this side, and we should bring everything out. So stay tuned as I progress in removing all these things bit by bit. All right, so far as I got all the harness out of the way, and yeah, this is what you want to do. You want to disconnect as much wires as possible so we have some slack, because we want to get some slack. We get some wires here. We got this relays out. There's two relays here, one here and one there. Actually, all those are relays here for, I don't know for what. Maybe just to control the AC units. So yeah, so be mindful of that. If guys want to know what's going on with the vehicle, you know, relays are here. You know, it's good to read the diagram of the wiring, how it routes. Yeah, basically much it. And yeah, so we continue to move on. Definitely we have to bring that steering wheel down. There's like 3 bolts holding it, 2 on each side and 1 in the big giant middle in between. We just make a slot and we're gonna bring the steering wheel down. First things first, and then we shall start removing the HVAC units. So let's get to it, guys. So stay tuned as I progress in removing the steering wheel and the other stuff. Yes, I'm so tired. These are the screws are for the dashboard. So as you can see, I have them separate. So it's important to keep track of all the screws. Keep track of everything where they belong. Keep track of everything. Take your time. And you want to do the job right and correctly. And that's my my words for you guys. Always take your time in what you're doing. All right, so here's an update. I got the steering wheel column down, and yes, definitely you'll have to get the steering wheel column down, and I'm gonna tell you why. There are 4 12 millimeter nuts, which just look like this. There are 4 of these, and you have to bring them down, and I have it on a wood stand. It's gonna see the support, so that way there is some slack on the wires and you want to pull the wires down. The reason is I gotta take it out is because they're all clamped in with this bar right here. This whole bar has to come out in order to get this HVAC unit out of here. So we got this one out now. I got some wires disconnect on the side to get some slack out as well. So now we're going to start removing that bolt. There's a hitting bolt here somewhere, right here. This cap here, we want to take it out. So it's 1, 2, and 3. So there's 1, 2, and 3 here. So you can see they're hidden in the caps. There's a hidden one right here. I think this is like a 12 or 10, I'm not sure. And then there's another 2 over there. After that, we're gonna, and then there's some couple of screws we need to take out down here as well, supporting that. There's one here and there's one there. So you want to keep track of all the screws. There are a total of 4 holding the HVAC unit. And there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think 6, 7, 8, 9 holding the bar. So you want to remove the bar out. Actually, the whole thing is part of the bar. So we want to remove a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 nuts and bolts. Nuts and bolts holding the bar. So once we remove all of them out, we're gonna start removing the dashboard. But first things first, I want to do now is disconnect the AC line and the heater core hose, and then we'll start removing these things. All right, so there is just 2 heater core lines down here. We're gonna remove them out, and also the AC line over there. So let's get started on removing those things first. And the bolts right here, I'm talking about the hose, the HVAC, this also as well. This thing should be removed as well. Alright, so here's an update of what's happening right now. I got the bolt off. This is a 13mm socket. And I got the hoses off, as you can see. They're loosed. It's very simple. Just use a 90-degree needle plier like this. And then like just wanna slack yourself in. Like move this one out gently, just to pull the spring hose clamp and spray some of that silicone like this. It makes it easier for the clamp smooth. And then what you do is you get a wrench like this, and then you want to wiggle it, the hoses back and forth like that. Just give it a wiggle, and then you just pull the hose out. It's very simple. Then after that, I got the AC lines off, disconnected. It's a 10mm bolt here, and then there's like a bracket holding it, so you just move the bracket out and then slide it out, and then you want to start up pulling out this small line, which is a lot easier because there's a slack to it. Once it's come out, be aware of some of the remaining freon is out, just a little bit, like a sound, like a hiss. It gives a hissing sound like that. And then after that, once it's out, the small one, then you can pull out the big one easily without any problems. And that's about it from here, this front. So everything is disconnected from this front. Now we start moving the bar now next. So there's a head and 2 bolts. So we're gonna start moving here first. And then we start working from here in the middle. And the last, move everything out. The HVAC unit should be out. Alright guys, so as you can see, we got all the bolts off of this bar. So now we're gonna pry it out gently and pull it outside. And it's gonna be like a little patience with this, and then we're gonna jiggle it out nice and easy and pull it out gently. Okay, so you want to be careful on how you're removing this thing. The best thing to do is to clear up everything off the floor, because there's a lot of movement going around. So I'm going to move all these tools out of the way, put them outside, and then we'll get started. Alright, so be mindful of this hose here. You want to take out this hose as well. This is also part of the AC unit. And as you can see, check this out. This is where the evaporator has a leak. See this green stuff right here? That's oil. That's the PAG oil that's coming out of the evaporator. So this is why we're changing the evaporator, because the leak is coming from the evaporator. So as soon as I pull out the HVAC unit, you will understand why it's leaking. Alright, so I got the HVAC unit pulled out now. As you can see, the bar is out. Now be mindful of what's happening here. Don't forget to disconnect these 2 harnesses here. That's what's control the entire HVAC, which is a blender and the blower and boiler. And remove this clip from here, and then we remove this whole HVAC unit out. And then I forgot to tell you guys about the brackets. You have to remove the entire screw. So you can see the brackets is out. So we want to remove all of that bracket as well before removing the whole entire bar. So I'm going to show you the process after I remove these harnesses, and this HVAC video should be out. So stay tuned. Okay, so here's how to get rid of this HVAC unit. You don't go from under, you're going to have to pull it up from over. So what I do is, have your knees, rest the bar on your knees, and then use your 2 hands and remove the HVAC unit up. And then that should be out of here. So that's the in action. And as you can see, we finally officially got the HVAC unit out. Here it is right here. And this is how it looks like on the inside. We got everything supported. No damage has been done except for this one. Yeah, this is torn. So there is a way of welding this plastic up. So I'm gonna get some special glue for all this and then stick it back up. But first, I'm going to separate from these tabs here, because I was supposed to take it off from there, but unfortunately it gives me a hard time. But don't worry, all this will be fixed, and I'll show you how it's fixed. Okay, so don't worry about that. When it comes to fixing, you got to take your time, everything. one little damage like this one is not a problem, but when you fix it all together, everything should work just right. So we've officially got the HVAC unit out. So now let's separate the unit and look for this evaporator and switch the evaporator. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is where the blower motor is located. So if you want to know how to take out the blower motor, you're gonna have to take out the entire dashboard just to reach the blower motor. So it's like you're doing the same job as replacing the evaporator and the heater core. Yep, you can say wow, wow, wow. Way to go, Nissan. That's today's Nissan for you guys. This is how it should be done. All right, so now I'm gonna look around the HVAC unit and removing the evaporator. So stay tuned. All right. So you want to be very gentle and very careful with these things here. These are plastic clips, and I broke one of them. You gotta be careful how you take them out. So very gently, gently, gently. There are a couple of screws here. I'll remove the harnesses out of the way because it's rerouting here. So let's see. This will give me access to the evaporator. A couple screws on down here, so let's unscrew them and take them out. As you can see, we got all kinds of parts out. I'm having a hard time taking this HVAC unit separate, but I'm gonna stop here for now and I'll continue next week or tomorrow just to see how I'm gonna get this thing off separately. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. For me, it will take you a couple of days, but I'll show you what I've done, okay? So stay tuned in the other clips. All right, so today is Wednesday, it's afternoon, and I officially find out how to get the AC evaporator out of this Nissan Rogue. All this time there was 2 hidden screws inside. Very interesting, huh? Yeah, so I finally got it open, and I will show it to you right now. There it is. It's like a 2-split unit. I got it open, all the parts. There is a hidden screw here, somewhere here, and there is another one hidden on the other side. That's a 2 extra screw right here. And the screws are for the bend doors actuator. So I'm gonna have to lose them. So now here it is, guys. Here is the leaky evaporator. As you can see, all the green stuff. So now we're gonna pull it out and replace it with a new one. And this filter is still clean. It can be reused. I want to keep that. So let's see how to take this thing out. There's a way out of it. I think you just pull this one. Yeah, there you go. So pull that one out. There's this piece here, and then pull out the evaporator. Here you go, guys. See, here is a leak in the area right on top. This is where it leaks. And look how old this evaporator is. There it is. Look at that, guys. See, my diagnosis is always correct. This is how it looks. All the green stuff showing. That's the dye, my friends. So now we're gonna install a new one and put back everything all together. The new one installed. This one doesn't have what you call the thermistor, because when I took out the old one, I don't see any thermistor around it. So maybe because it's a latest advanced, maybe it's probably there is a sensor built in. If there's too cold, it's probably sense it out in a different direction. Usually most of the cars have a thermistor sticking in there, but this one doesn't come with any of it. I guess because it's a different feature. It doesn't have that, so it's a different feature to it. So we will go with the flow. Double check again. I don't see any any prints of a thermistor in this old one. None here whatsoever. So I'll just keep continue. Like I said, there's none, there's none. So I'll just keep continuing and put it in. So I'll just put it in, put back everything together, and start reassemble the housing all back together. And also I clean up the mess on the inside to make it smell good again. You don't want people to smell AC in there. Keep it clean. Alright, so now that we just take this out, we have to align up everything together and then sandwich it back together. So stay tuned. Alright, I just find out what the thermistor is. This is the thermistor. So this one stays closer to that because how I know? There's an outlet right here where the connector plugs in. So I think the connector should be one of those harnesses here. So as soon as I install, I'll show you here it is. This must be it. So I guess this one goes right here. We'll plug it in here. This is it here. There we go. That's where it belongs. So I'm gonna stick this one back in, and that's it. Now I just sandwich all this together closely, and then put back everything together. Just clean it up here again. So as you can see how I gently put it all together. Make sure this part right here, if you can see it. See this piece? There's an end here. Make sure it's aligned with the holes. It's aligned with the holes properly all together. Okay? And then after that, you just squish it, make sure all the alignment points are lined up. So these alignment points, the clips, the alignment points to that hole. Make sure it all align, and then you all squeeze it in together. Alright, so we got everything on inside properly done. And I'm really excited. So now we're gonna screw in one hole here. That's a screw in there. And this is what I was talking about. I was looking for the heading screws. And this is why you guys gotta make sure, like, you don't wanna go manhandling this thing and then like start to frustrate it yourself, you know? Always check around, check everywhere, look around. If you wanna like take out this actuator, you wanna pull on this actuator gently and then look for it, you know? This is good to see on the road so you don't lose it. And then mount these things back up, it's just right here. And then mount it up with two screws. So I'm gonna put one screw in this way, and I'm gonna mount this actuator, and then I'll mount the rest of the screw in. Alright, so I got everything reassembled. Well, not quite everything yet. So I gotta put the door motor back in, and I gotta fix up this thing here. Also, I'm about to get some plastic glue to glue up those clips that's been broken, like this for example. There's one been broken right here, and some others been broken. About 4 of them breaks. So I'm gonna get some plastic clips. But for now, yep. So here's, I guess, see, this is the bottom one. The new one's installed. I'm gonna put back the good filter. This filter is still good. So I'm gonna put it back in. And then we'll close it, and then we'll call it done for now. So I will stop here from today because there's a lot of flies attacking me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. But for you guys, it'll be in a couple of seconds. All right, so it's Thursday once again, and I got this product called the JB Welding. It's a plastic mounder, and this thing did a really amazing job. Look at this. I stick this thing right here, and it's holding strong. I love this thing. You know, I got one more clip to install. You know, just this is what I do. I just dab it in like that. I'm gonna give it a little dab and just hold it there. And you want to hold it for 5 minutes. And hold it just right here. So I'm going to keep holding it until like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So you can see how I do it, and that's about it. I'm not concerned about these things here. I just put like a simple glue to hold it. I'll get that. Yes. You're right here. I think this is dry up already. Alright, as you guys can see, I installed the blower motor back, and the ducts are back in. The heater core is back in installed. All the wires and harnesses are returned back in as they should be. The modules installed back there, and now I'm gonna install a new expansion valve. And always replace your O-rings. So those green and black was the old one, and the two green ones are the new one. And we're gonna pull out this thing here and then put the O-rings in, and then assemble the expansion valve. Alright, so I got the O-rings installed. Now you want to lubricate it with some PAG oil. I'm gonna use a swab and then dip it in like this, and then lubricate it right here. Give it a nice lubrication. Sorry guys, right like that. You want to do the other side, lubricate it. Give it a nice lubrication so it fits in. Here you go. So I'll set that for installing the expansion valve right here. Alright, so I got the expansion valve on, and you gotta make sure the O-rings are seated inside and not squished out, which is a more important thing. Just use a light. Use a light to shine around to make sure there's no O-ring sticking out, because if it's sticking out, then you have to find another O-ring for that. Okay, so on the last clip, I'm gonna show you how the dual climate control system works. So I'm gonna pull out the controls for the AC unit and explain to you how it works. Let's see, where are you? They are on the other side. Okay, so here it is. Alright, so you have dual system, hot and cold, hot and cold. This one's for the passenger, this is for the driver's side. And you have other operations here. The fan controls the blower motor speed. Now the auto is just it's automatic settings. And then you have fresh air, AC mode on. And you have different mode settings to switch position. And you want recirculation or fresh air. Okay, so how it works, you have 4 actuators, one there and there's another one hitting in there behind there. So this is controls driver's side. This is controls the to change position of the airflow. On the other side, I'll show you. Let me just tilt it out of the way. you have the opposite side for the passenger, and there is another one up there that controls the fresh air and recirculation. Okay, so the passenger and drivers have their own actuators to change their speed, their hot and cold settings. So if passenger wants a little hot, while the driver side wants a cold, they have these two modes right here. So their own settings. Okay, now if there's a situation that in case if one side stuck hot or cold, then the problem is the blend door actuator. So those need to be replaced in case of a problem like this. Okay, so and that's how the system works on the AC units. So 4 actuators. One does the jobs of changing the doors and changing the temperature for the driver and the passenger side. Okay guys, this is the end of part 2. Stay tuned for part 3 when we're gonna reassemble everything together. But first things first, we're gonna reassemble the HVAC housing and connect the lines. We're gonna put it on vacuum and make sure it holds the vacuum. And when everything holds vacuum, we're gonna start assemble everything back how it was, put it to charge, and this job is done. So stay tuned for part 3 coming this Sunday. As always, take care of yourself, you guys. One love, peace out, take care, goodbye.